fuck is you telling me?
Yes, sir. Throw the Hook podcast, episode number 24. It's your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. What's going on, everybody? Big shout out to everybody. I know it looked like I'm dolo right now, but my dog Boxing First Vlog will be in here momentarily, man. Big shout out to everybody. We got a whole lot to talk about. In terms of just, boxing and everything that's going on right now in the sport, man. If you in here, definitely put a comment in the comment section. Say what's up. You know what I'm saying? Put a 1 in the chat, if we sounding good, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep that thing moving. But I'm going to wait a couple minutes, get some people up in here. But off top, definitely got to shout out the team, man. Big shout out to Boxing First Vlog. Everybody favorite OG, big shout out to him. Big shout out to In This Corner podcast, aka Ty Finney, the legend. Big shout out to him as well. Big shout out to Shane out there in the UK, man. It's little bro. It's always family. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Coach Ali, Coach Padman McGriff, Boxing Source. Big shout out to the Boxing Source. He doing big things over there on the channel. Big shout out to my dog Teak too, man. Big shout out to my dog Teak. You know what I'm saying? Just the whole squad, man. We definitely moving out here, doing what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? So we're just happy to be here. We got a lot to cover, a lot of boxing news. We got a couple of fight cards coming up we need to discuss. And we got a little bit of controversy too. Like I dropped a video like 2 days ago, and it's doing about, I think it's pretty much at like 50,000 on TikTok, and a couple thousand on Instagram, and a couple thousand on YouTube. But it's getting a lot of responses, and it's exactly what I wanted. But I'll get into what that video is and what it was about. And we could definitely chop it up, get into that. But hey, if you are here, please leave a comment, say what's up, before we get started. But we got a whole lineup full of topics that we're gonna get into. Depending on how I'm feeling, man, I might even drop the link. And let some of y'all get on the show, chop it up, talk y'all talk, you know what I'm saying? So, also when you get in the comment section, say what's up, let me know if I'm sounding cool, and then also put down where you from too. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to know where people tapping in from, just to keep the future dialogue going. But while we're waiting for Boxing First Vlog to get up in here, I'm going to go ahead and get things started just with some general boxing news. Now, they announced that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua has announced that they're going to fight on Netflix. To be honest with you, I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. This is not the first time, second time, or third time they've said that they're going to fight, and they end up not fighting, whether it's, Fury retiring or either guy loses a fight to derail the actual fight, but we've seen this get played before. Tyson Fury has a fight coming up. He's coming off of retirement. AJ had that tragic situation where it was the car crash and two of his friends passed away. So he's, gonna forever be recovering from that. But I'm not surprised that they're mentioning Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Like, that's good promo for Tyson Fury for his fight that's going down in April. So I'm not surprised one bit, but I just don't see the fight happening. I don't see the fight happening. If it happens, that's great. It's a fight that should have happened about 5 years ago, but that's neither here nor there. So, the heavyweight division is short on big name fighters. And these are two of the biggest names in the division. And if they go and match up and fight and bring a little bit of juice, bring a little bit of excitement to, the heavyweight division, then so be it. Hopefully the fight happens, and maybe it's a great fight, and maybe we'll get, them to fight twice, or maybe it'll be a trilogy, but we got to get them in the ring the first time, though, before we can talk about rematches and trilogies and all that. So, we'll see how that plays out, with that whole situation. Like, we'll see how that play out. But that's the first set of news that I wanted to actually give off. But the next topic I really wanted to get into, I was hoping Vlog would be in here so we could really chop it up with this one. But you know what? I'm gonna hold off. I'm not gonna bring that topic up yet. What I will do is bring up Richardson Hitchens. Hitchens is the IBF champion at 140 pounds. It is big rumors going around that he might sign with Zuffa Boxing and Dana White. Now, I dropped a video on this on the channel, and it got some pretty good responses. But Richardson Hitchens, his name is fish grease hot in the streets right now. Fish grease hot in the streets right now. Like, his fight with Oscar Duarte, it got canceled the night of the fight. I think probably about maybe 2 to 3 hours before the start of the prelims for that Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios card. So, that just left a bad taste in people's mouths. And to be honest with you, we haven't heard much from Richardson Hitchens since that happened. Said he got sick. A lot of people were blaming the weight cut. Some people said he had the flu. So I don't know. Then I heard food poisoning. So there's a lot of different things that was going on. But if Richardson Hitchens signs to Zuffa Boxing and Dana White, it just doesn't look right. Like, it doesn't look right. And I like Richardson Hitchens, like, inside the ring, like he's cold. Like, he's cold with it. Like, got one of the better jabs in the game. He's a good fighter, good solid fighter. He was with Mayweather Promotions for a good part of his career. He wasn't really happy with how his career was going, so he branched out, and now he's with Eddie Hearn. But the thing with the situation is, if he signs with Zuffa Boxing and Dana White, that means that he would have got away from the Oscar Duarte fight, which a lot of people felt like Oscar Duarte had a really serious shot of winning that fight. And then the IBF actually announced that he has a mandatory that he has to take care of as well. And Richardson Hitchens, he's made it perfectly clear that he is not a fan of the 10-pound weight rehydration, after the initial weigh-in. So for the people that don't know, that may not be familiar with how the IBF works in terms of their champions, is for a championship fight, whatever your contracted weight is for the fight, that's what you got to weigh in at the actual weigh-in the day before the fight. So for Hitchens, that's 140 pounds. Now they have a morning of the fight weight check. You can't weigh more than 10 pounds from the contracted weight the morning of the fight. So that's 150 pounds. You can't weigh no more than 150. So, some people like this rule because this kind of takes away the whole weight bully thing. But at the same time, the way guys are actually cutting weight and making weight, a lot of the weight that they're putting back on is actual water weight. So you see the guys once they weigh in, you see they have the big bottles of, they look like Pedialyte. They'll have that and they'll just start chugging it. They'll just start chugging it. That's like putting the fluids back into their system. So when guys come in 15, 20 pounds heavier than 15, 20 pounds heavier than what they were the night before, a lot of that is water weight. A lot of that is water weight. So if you're only allowed to gain 10 pounds from the day of the weigh-in and then the morning of the fight, it messes with a lot of guys' rehydration process. And it's something that the IBF does. The IBF is the only sanctioning body that does that. So if you are a champion at, with the IBF, it don't matter what the weight is, outside of heavyweight, of course, and cruiserweight, you got to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined to be a champion with the IBF, and you got to make sure your body right. You got to make sure your rehydration right. Because if you fight under the WBC, the WBA, or the WBO, you can come in weighing 20 pounds heavier, 25, 26 pounds heavier. It doesn't matter to them. But that's what the majority of the sport is used to. And of course, back in the day, they had same day weigh-ins. Like they had the morning of the fight, you weighed in, and that's what it was. That's the difference between now and back then. Back in the day, and I'm talking like the 70s and, and all that, you had weigh-ins like same day, same exact day, morning of the fight. And then later on that evening, you fought. So, times has changed, times are different. But Richardson Hitchens, he's made it perfectly clear that he doesn't like that 10-pound rehydration. And, he won the title. He won the IBF title with that same weight clause. He beat George Kambosos with that same weight clause. And, he was getting ready to defend his title against Oscar Duarte with that same weight clause. Now, if he signs on with Zuffa, that means he would have avoided the Duarte fight. He would have avoided the mandatory. And on top of that, he will fight on Zuffa, where they have a roster, but the roster is relatively small compared to the weight classes that they have. So, they're still working on their roster and things like that. So obviously, the better competition would be outside of Zuffa. Of course, like Zuffa is pretty much brand new. So for him to go over to Zuffa, he would be avoiding some smoke. He'll be avoiding some smoke to keep it all way in stack. He'll be avoiding some smoke, and that's just what it is. So, if he feel like that's the best move for him, just personally in his life, I got respect for all fighters. So if he feel like that's the best move for his life and for his, his family, his career, then go ahead and go do that. But from just a pure boxing standpoint, yeah, it looks crazy. It looks absolutely crazy that he was signed over with Zuffa. So do I want him to do it? No, I don't. I don't want to see him do it at all. He would just be shutting himself out from all the competition. You know what I'm saying? He'll be shutting himself out from all the competition. You know what I mean? So I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that at all. I think Hitchens is a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter. I got my dog in the building, man. Everybody favorite OG, man. Boxing First Vlog. What's going on, bro?
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2. Sound good, brother. What's going on?
Man, just walked through the door, so I'm late, and I apologize, but it is what it is. Better late than never.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So, I ain't getting to the meat and potatoes of the show. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just starting off, the only thing that I covered was just they allegedly Tyson Fury and AJ supposed to be fighting again. I was like, that's about the fifth or sixth time that they done said they was gonna fight. So we'll see. you
I
know,
mean, for what?
yeah, like at this point, they just
I get that. I get the Chisora Wilder situation is sort of like a closeout, possibly for both guys. You know what I mean? Finalize their careers, but Fury talking about he got 3 more fights in him. We don't know what's going on with AJ. So what's the purpose of that? Like, I don't know.
uh I don't know either. It's supposed to be on Netflix, so I don't know if they're doing it because you sign a contract with Netflix and it's like, okay, we need certain types of fights to justify the contract. So I don't know if
You
that's
mean
what it
they?
is.
You basically saying Netflix liked the numbers AJ did for him, and they want him back.
Yes,
Because I
absolutely.
guarantee you, they not begging Fury to be in front of nobody camera.
And the thing is, his fight is going to be on Netflix.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
For that purpose, if it's a money grab, then for Netflix, because it's not really a
right.
money grab for them dudes. They suppose they should be financially set, or maybe that it's an old fight. Maybe these guys is like y'all already been paid, man. Stop dicking around and get this fight y'all owe us.
Yeah, I mean, I seen it. I seen the announcement. It wasn't even an announcement. It was really a post. But I was just like, I was like, Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah, but that don't make you jump out your seat. That's for sure.
No, I'm definitely feet were planted when I when I seen the news. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that you're here because I definitely wanted to get into kind of one of the main topics in the sport right now, and that's Top Rank. Top Rank got a 8 to 10 fight deal, 8 to 10 fight card deal with DAZN. And initially, when I seen the news, I was excited, until I heard what the budget was going to be for each show, and then I realized what it was. So for the people that don't know, Top Rank signed a deal with DAZN to put on 8 to 10 fights a year on their platform, and it's a non-exclusive deal. It's a non-exclusive deal. So Top Rank still has the ability to go to outside sources for some of their fight cards and some of their fighters. Now, the key to this whole deal is that each card is going to have a budget of $1 million to $1.25 million for the entire card. That's not a lot of money for for a card. So for the people that think that they're going to see, you know, um, Keyshawn Davis and a bunch of other people on there, you're not going to see them on a 1 million or to $1.25 million budget. So this is going to be for their up and coming fighters. Some of those fights you used to see on ESPN, just like kind of like a almost like pro box type cards, like pro box, show box type cards, where it's this up and coming guys,
You
getting
know what I'm
opportunities.
expecting to see?
Mm-hmm.
Smaller guys. It's gonna
I
be a
agree.
lot of
Yeah.
bantamweight, strawweight guys, like because those are the guys that don't demand 6-figure paydays.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Yeah.
could put 3, 4 of those type of fights on. Maybe slip in a 135 guy that's kind of over the brink, like uh like a Valdez or somebody like that might need a one last little payday, little 50,000, a little $100,000 payday. You might get him on to sell a card, but it's gonna be hard. That's that's cheesy. Ain't nothing to, like, again, another bit of news that didn't make me leap out my seat, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was like once the details came out. David Wiltz in the building, man. Big shout out to you, family. Says salute, fellas, man. Big shout out to you, bro. Um, Yeah, I seen it initially and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Then once they said what the budget was, I was like, yeah. Yep. I said that's for the so it's similar. You know what it's similar to, bro? Golden Boy had a similar deal with DAZN, and it was supposed to be for their, like their young up and coming fighters. And I'm wondering if Top Rank just replaced Golden Boy's slot on DAZN for that particular type of deal. You know what I'm saying? It's not a
That's
major
always a
deal.
possibility. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Golden Boy could have probably just had their last card on the zone just a little weekend ago with the Oscar Collazo fight. Nice.
yeah,
That boy nice too. That boy nice. If he put some
yeah,
weight on, you know what I mean, he could probably be a factor here at maybe 118 or something like that in the next few years.
yeah. And again, that was a great point. Like you're gonna see a lot of the smaller weight classes fighting on this top rank the zone card, at the end of the day. But yeah, like I said, like 1 million to 1.25, you're not gonna get the upper echelon guys at top rank because they're gonna command that whole budget plus some. Even a guy that signed on the top rank that might have had a name, but they're kind of like on the downslide, they're gonna get about 200, 250. You know what I'm saying? So that's just not a huge budget to work with, but it's a start. It's a start. Top rank didn't have a home, period. They didn't have a home at all. So for them to get the opportunity to get with the zone, to even, put their up and coming guys on, like that's a win for them. Now, I don't know if they're going to try to work out another deal with the zone. I know that the zone, when Emiliano Vargas fought on the card, they actually bumped him up to co-main event. I think it was probably the day before the weigh-in. I think it was the day before the weigh-in, and that's not a DAZN fighter. You know what I'm saying? That's a top rank fighter, and they moved him up to co-main. So hopefully they can cook up something, a big contract going forward. But for the people that seen that and they think that Xander Zayas and Jerron Boots Ennis is closer to a fight, no, no. I hate to break it to you, but no, that deal doesn't mean that Xander Zayas and Boots Ennis is any closer. The budgets is
I got a question
not
for
high.
you.
Yes, sir.
I got a question. I don't know if this post is true, but I just thought Resendez and Charlo for the WBA belt. How? I thought your boy just won the WBA belt from the African that fight out of Germany.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know. I've seen that post. I don't know if it's in the works. I don't know. I don't know,
but
bro. To
how is
be
it a
honest with you.
WBA title fight? That's what I'm trying to get an understanding of.
I don't know either. I don't know the answer to that either. That's something we're gonna have to do a little bit of research on. I was a little puzzled. I like the matchup. Don't get me wrong. I like the matchup, but as far as like what belts on the line and all that, like don't get me a line.
They
Don't
back
get me
at
the line.
are they back at that silver and gold and all that old type nonsense?
I mean, they always been on that. You just don't hear it as much, But oh, speaking of that, did you hear that? Well, this was another post, but I know this one's true. The David Benavidez Zerto fight, right? There's some belts on the line for that particular fight. And the sanctioning bodies that's involved with that fight, they were threatening to not sanction that fight because the WBC was trying to come in. You know what I'm saying? The WBC was trying to come in with a specialty belt, a customized belt, so they can get in on the festivities and possibly get get a sanctioning fee because Benavidez does hold a WBC belt. Derek Welch coming in with the info. He said bro was elevated. Okay, so he was all right. So that explains it. He was elevated to champion.
But how was he elevated when that was a unification fight between the African boy, like I said, and than the boy Zayas. So
It had to been oh no, not that. You thinking that's 154. These boys fighting at 168, bro. Resendez is at 68.
That's
You
Big
thinking,
Charlo. Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
Big
You talking Big Charlo? Yeah, Big
confused.
Charlo. Yeah,
I was confused.
Yeah,
because I mean he been so quiet. I thought I forgot he was still boxing, bro. I ain't even gonna fraud. I forgot to.
Yeah, it's Big Charlo. Big Charlo.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Charlo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
I
was
thought now I wasn't seeing things. Then I was like, what the?
Nah. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
I
so
get it now.
Elevated. Yeah. So he was elevated. Okay, that's cool. It's a good fight though. Like that's a really.
Is that another email champion?
I don't know if it was Gmail, Yahoo. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who the carrier was that the courier that had delivered the joke.
Delivered the news.
Yeah.
Well, got that shit by singing Telegram.
Yeah, it might have been through Telegram. He might have got a message on WhatsApp. Hey, say hey, check your front door. Check your front door. You know what I mean? Check your front door. You got something there. You got a package.
Amazon demon shit, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you know how you get it, you get it. I don't think you're gonna hold it for long though. You know what I mean?
Little UPS, little brown
Just
delivery.
off top, I do ask Charlo in that one. Just off top.
If Charlo is close to old Charlo, then
it should be able to.
Charlo. I like Charlo in the fight, like for sure. Let's see what else we gotta cover, bro. What else we gotta cover? Carlos Adames, Ammo Williams, for the middleweight title that's going down this Saturday on the 21st. Of course, that fight was supposed to go down earlier this year, and Adames, he made weight, but he ended up getting pulled from the fight. They found out right after the weigh-in, basically, and Ammo had to fight a late replacement. He got a decision victory in that fight. He got a nasty knockdown too in that fight as well. But Carlos Adames and Ammo Williams, man, like just off top, like what you think about the fight, and do you have any early predictions on the fight?
I actually think Adames, you just common sense, you gotta edge him because he fresher, a little bit more rest going on. That was 12 rounds. 12 rounds is 12 rounds. You know what I mean? And 2 months later, you right back in there, bro. These ain't no prospect type fights. He went the distance, bro. He did not get rid of dude in 4. And it was an easy night at the office, bro. That was, overtime in there.
I think he went 10. I think it went 10.
No, that shit was the distance.
I know. I think it went 10 rounds, though, not 12.
It was a 10-rounder? Oh, okay. I thought it was some type of, how they always doing to make an extra dollar. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I mean? But still, that's just hard work, though. You know what I mean? That's hard work. Dude wasn't no easy out. He definitely didn't quit, even though he got dropped in that fight. I just think just based on the freshness, again, this is not the same dude. You don't do that this late in your career, especially when you're on a championship run, or at least you're aspirating for champions. You don't want to take fights back to back, like, oh, I'm gonna take a fight 3 months later. You do that when you 5-6 fights in the game. You know what I mean? You try to keep as active as possible, sharpening your craft. But at this point, you want to be fresh too for your opportunity at a world title. And I don't know that he's going to be as fresh as he should be. Remember, he was coming off a KO loss before the actual fight with Adames was supposed to happen. They both went up against the same dude. Adames, did a little better, even though he was getting clipped in that fight too by the tall boy from over there in London and shit. You know who I'm talking about. His name just slips in my mind right now, but he nice though. He's the problem. He's the problem. But I think between the two, Adames had the better showing. So I edge him just based on the competition that they both seen, which is elevated competition. I would say at least a B+ type of fighter. You know what I mean? Adamas got to him, gave him the business, was able to stay away from them straights just long enough and just, not get hit by them enough that I think he can avoid them hooks that that Ammo throws. I think he could counterpunch. He might be able to get rid of Ammo too. Because we know Ammo punch resistance based on that performance across seas. You know what I mean? He might not got the chin that his arms say he should have. So I urge Carlos. Okay. I might lay something with him depending on what the numbers is. Matter of fact, let me look at them numbers real quick while you say your piece.
While you do that, Derek Wiltz in the comment section said, good scrap. Carlos got too much experience for Ammo, but anything can happen. I agree, bro. Derek Wills, big shout out to you, bro.
The numbers right now is Ammo plus 270, Carlos minus 380.
Sound about right.
The value in that one is if you wanted to parlay Ammo with somebody else parlay Adamas with maybe a Lester Martinez, but that's still kind of high.
What's the rounds? What's the over under on the rounds?
They don't put that out till fight day, bro. They be killing me where you can't really, you know what I mean, do a little dig ahead. And a lot of the fights they actually don't even do it. You know what I mean? Because
do they have a joint? What other joints do they have on there, or is it just the money line?
It's just the money line. When you dealing with Pro Box, because the day of the fights is when they open the fights up that they're going to actually extend over under rounds, knockout, all of that. A lot of the fights that they don't, especially because they undercard type of fights, and it should be a knockout, and it's kind of like giving away money type of thing. So they real slick with it when it comes to opening the actual fights up to say where your value is at when betting on it.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm taking Adamas in the fight strictly because I just think he's the more skilled fighter. I think he's a more skilled fighter. It's the more versatile fighter, and Ammo actually he got the victory in his last fight against the late replacement, and the late replacements can always be tricky. I mean, it could be a complete blowout, or it could really be a problem depending on if that last minute replacement was in the gym and was actually waiting for an opportunity, and they came in fresh and ready to go. The thing with Ammo, I probably seen more flaws in Ammo's game in his last fight where if I didn't see that fight, I probably would have gave Ammo a better chance to win against Carlos Adames. But Ammo Williams' last fight really reminded me of a lot of the flaws that he has just as a fighter, but he's kind of had them his whole career. And of course he has a really good trainer in his corner, Kevin Cunningham, but it's some habits that guys have that are from when they are young, even before they turn pro, and they just never get it fixed. Like Ammo has some of the worst footwork. His footwork is terrible, bro. I mean, I'm talking nasty work. And Carlos Adames, he's pretty slick with it. He can slide them puppies. He can slide them puppies from side to side, and he pretty slick inside the ring. So I think this is going to be a counter punching fest for Adames. He can really style on Ammo Williams this fight. He can really style on him and really open up offensively. Ammo feet are just so bad. If Carlos Adames just flash a little bit of footwork, his hand ain't got to show the whole bag. Just a little bit of footwork. To be honest with you, he should have a relative easy night with Ammo Williams. Ammo's going to give him all types of opportunities offensively. I'll be honest with you, I don't even really have to do no tape on this fight. It's really a matter of if Carlos Adames is coming in 100% healthy. If he's not 100% healthy, he's going to have some problems. But if he's coming in 100% healthy, then I think Adames runs away with this fight. So, Vlog, I agree with you. I might be dropping a little something on that too, as far as a parlay situation. But that's a good fight. it's a good, solid fight. You know what I'm saying? For sure. It's definitely a good
Question:
fight. Yes, sir.
where does Rihanna go from here? He's claiming he's been ducked by Shakur. He's been ducked by Haney.
Who?
I'm hearing Tiafimo name come out his mouth. He
Who you
said
talking
he
about?
don't. Rihanna, the
Who's that?
queen, the queen, Rihanna Garcia.
Oh, I didn't know who the hell you was talking about, bro. He not fighting Haney? Am I missing something?
Bro, he just was out here talking about Teofimo Lopez might be his next fight. He said he cannot get no fight with Haney. He can't get negotiations right with Shakur. He said, yeah, they teams have talked. He talked this Ring Magazine. He talking to Ring Magazine. So I'm taking it he being honest. So if them fights ain't there, is the Teofimo Lopez fight the best quote unquote money fight he can have right now? Because he's not looking for real competition. He's only looking for possible money fights, whether he win or lose. That's why he had no problem wanting to fight DAZN or Shakur. Because if he loses in the ring, he's still winning purse wise and earnings wise.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the fight. I wouldn't mind seeing the fight. You know, but is it the fight? Is it the fight I want to see? No. But you know, if that's his only intent is to make money, then Teofimo is one of the few guys he's going to be able to make some money with. At 147 pounds, if we're not talking 154 or 140 or somebody moving up, like if we're talking strictly 147, then
he's the champ, so it's got to be at 147. He was only willing to do the catchweight fight because Shakur had steam. Purse should have been reasonable based on the latest accomplishments and being able to be a sellable fight. But for legacy purposes, it make no sense. That's a bragging rights fight for him personally. It does nothing for, or maybe for his boxing legacy, probably, but not for Shakur's, in my estimation.
Yeah, I don't want to see Shakur fighting at 47. I
don't want to see him fight no catchweight fight. If you're gonna do it, go all the way to 47.
Yeah, I agree 100%. If you're gonna go all the way, I can't stand these catchweight fights, man. Like catchweights annoy me, man. Like it's either jump all the way, like catchweight fights is like putting your feet in the pool, man, but not dipping all the way.
Going swimming. Yeah,
like, you're not going swimming. You dipping your toes in, talking about something, you swimming and shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna fight at 147, go up to 147. Like, we don't want to see no catch weights at 143, 144. We ain't got time for all that. Like,
do you think 140? I think 147 would fit him because it would allow him to put a bit of muscle mass on.
Shakur?
Yeah, I think because he feels like he's such type, like I'm a light dude, so I'm not gonna be like toe to toe with guys because I'm not like, my foundation ain't solid like that. You know what I mean? Like you think that's part of his fighting disposition and why he fights the way he fights, his size and kind of be a little bit more elusive.
I think with Shakur, just to answer the first part of your question, I think he should just take his ass back down to 135. That's just my personal opinion. He's a relative smaller guy. Like his frame doesn't look like it for well. Like you look at like Devin Haney. Like Haney, when he was fighting at 40, you could tell like, hey, like that frame, he'll be able to fill out at 147. Even with Ryan, it was just like, yo, that's a big 140. Like I could see him filling out at 47. I don't look at Shakur and see 47. Like I just don't see 47. I think as far as what he does in his fights and what he does offensively,
But then Sweet Pea hit 47?
Yeah, but that was later on in his career though.
But even with that, I think packing on the weight, at least for the opportunity, is possible. I think, like,
if it's a big money, if it's a big fight, if it's Haney yes, he got to go do that. He got to go do that. If it's Ryan, he got to go do that.
Okay, yeah, then we agree.
Yeah, it's a few guys. If the money's right, yes, he could do it. But just general purposes, yeah, he need to take his ass back down to 135, man. Because I don't want to see Shakur have a really, really tough fight or lose a fight, and the first thing he mentions is he was fighting outside of his weight class. Like that would annoy me.
I don't think he should go to 135, bro. I think he should stay at 140 because 135 is.
I'm cool with that too.
It ain't no real smoke. It ain't no real payday there either because obviously the biggest name is moved out of 135, moved to 140, and moved to 147 now, and that was Teofimo Lopez and himself. But Teofimo, obviously, I do believe was probably making more money. You know what I mean? Just based on the Puerto Rican sort of back play and him being the quote unquote Puerto Rican star. So I think he was able to play off of that, probably earn more money on Top Rank than Shakur did, but I don't think it's a bad fight at 135. So why go back down there? Then you already had the issues with the belt situation with WBC. So you don't want to unify. You don't want to go undisputed. So
he can't go undisputed anywhere.
You don't think he can go undisputed at 140?
Not because he's not capable. It's just the WBC.
Yeah, I mean, I get that now, but I'm just saying, okay.
Oh no, he's fully capable. I mean, he's fully capable. I mean, for sure. But I agree with you. Like, I'm cool with him at 40 or 35. 35, he can be a straight bully at 35. 40, there's a lot more competition there. I would love to see some fights.
Duarte
140. Oscar Duarte, that would be a great fight.
I would love to see that fight.
Yeah. Oscar Duarte and Shakur Stevenson, that would be a great fight. I'm not gonna lie, Shakur Stevenson and Pitbull Cruz would be a good fight too.
But we can't have that because Tank get ready to fight him for the third time or something, ain't?
I just that situation annoys me, bro. Like I'm like, they fought one time, the fight was okay, but you could tell Tank was clearly the better. He's just the better fighter. Like, I'm not going to gain anything by watching that fight again. Like, I'm not going to learn anything new about Tank. I'm not going to learn anything new about Pitbull.
What I could say about that is Pitbull's gotten worse at what he does in the ring. Like, he used to be a bit more subtle with the kind of, I'll quote unquote say that the Hopkins sort of tactics in the ring. He's got more just blatant with it, and it's disrespectful, and it shows he's kind of falling off on his craft a little bit. Because I thought he was a lot cleaner, you know what I mean, overhand puncher, come forward type of guy. But looking at a couple of his fights here lately, he do a lot of holding and hitting. He be trying to trip dudes, a lot of pushing, a lot of wrestling. Not clean. Not like the effort he put in against Tank the first time. He really made himself a star, then to just kind of fall backwards. Bad performances against Venezuela. Obviously didn't look good against Lamont Roach because it was way more dirty stuff that was not talked about in that fight that went on. So it was hard for Lamont Roach to be clean based on what he had to deal with in there.
Yeah, credit to Pitbull Cruz. He got a legit knockdown in that fight. That was a great shot by Pitbull Cruz. There was a lot of dirty laundry getting spread out, in that fight by Pitbull Cruz for sure. But as far like going back to Shakur, like the thing with Shakur, like it's been this huge debate on whether he's boring or not, and I, to be honest, I just think Shakur don't have a kill switch. He don't have a kill switch, bro. Like, and some people interpret that as him being boring, but I'm like, he don't have a kill switch.
I heard a particular fan, shout out to the Boxing Voice, you know what I mean? Big turnaround for me as being a fan of that platform. One of the fans was going in and said, technically, he's only killed dudes and went after dudes he's been bigger than. I said, whoa, I had to think about it. Valdez, bigger than. Herring, he was bigger than. I was like, damn, he might got a point with that. I never thought about that. He never went after the African. Remember the African bull?
I got you.
That had the long jab. That was kind of a real cautious type of performance. So it made me think about what the boy said. I forget what the fan name was. Big shout out to him too. That was a great point. So could that be a factor? Like he only want to be a bully against people he can bully,
and
he just outbox the other guys.
That's a good point on the surface. I think like Valdez and Herring and things like that. I think his shots affected them a little more because he was a bigger fighter. But I felt like if Shakur gets you hurt, I think he has the ability to turn up. But that's a solid point. Like that's a solid point. But I personally think Shakur just don't have no kill switch, bro. He don't have no kill switch. And I think mentally he is perfectly okay with 12-0. And that's kind of the problem. Like he's okay with 12-0. Like Terrence Crawford's not okay with 12-0. Like Bud trying to get you up out of there. Even the majority of Floyd's career, and I'm not talking like Money Mayweather, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking pre-Money Mayweather, like before the De La Hoya fight. Like Floyd Mayweather had a kill switch. Like he gets you in trouble. He going for the kill. Like he's not, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not in there trying to go the distance. Like it just seemed like Shakur's perfectly okay.
What about this? What about this? Now you brought up Floyd. Floyd kill switch died after he had the hand situations.
I agree.
Wasn't there talk about Shakur and his hands a couple years ago?
Yeah, it was talks about it. It was talks about it, and that could be part of the reason. That could be part of the reason. You know, no doubt. Like that could definitely be part of the reason. But I just think just with his mentality, I
agree with that too. I can't fraud that position that you have too, because you is an honest perspective, because you've seen him fight. We've seen him just the last fight. He actually, you're right. He could have actually put the foot on the gas, maybe in the 10th. Probably got him out of there between 10 and 11. Because you could see that Teofimo had completely slowed down. He didn't have the spring and the answer or the effort to try as much as he did in round 5, 6. So why not go after him? Why not put the foot on the gas? So I mean, I see what you're saying. I get it, but again, I wouldn't say that was a fight that told me hand problems. I would think maybe hand problems keep him from punching as hard. Like I know if I hit hard, I'm a subject to be paying for it.
Yeah, I think watching that Teofimo Lopez fight, me personally, I think if Shakur mashes on the gas, I think he could have got a stoppage in that Teo fight. I think he could, because Teo didn't want to be in there. He didn't want to be in there. Like
once he lost his father. Lost his father, I think he checked out mentally, no doubt. And everything he was doing was just muscle memory.
Yeah, he checked out, but I think he could have mashed on the gas and got him up out of there. And to be honest with you, over the last couple of years, the only time I've seen Shakur mash on the gas, I'm talking about from the beginning of the fight to the end, was the Jamel Herring fight. That's the only fight I've seen in Shakur where he really went in with a kill switch. That's the only fight.
And that was supposed to be personal, because they both in that same, well, not in the same camp, quote unquote, but kind of rocking with the same team to a certain extent.
Yeah, and to add on to what you just said, you got to factor this in too. Was he able to go in there and just be open offensively because he was so familiar with Jamel Herring? Was that the reason why he was so aggressive? Like just because he was just familiar, like not because he was just wanted to be aggressive in that fight, but just he was so familiar with Herring, like it was just he just went in there free and it was just swinging. You know what I mean? But there's very few fights where I've seen Shakur and it's like, yo, he's in there really trying to kill something. Like, and I think that's what people want to see from Shakur. And people try to compare him to Mayweather, but I'm like, when Mayweather was doing it, even after the hand problems, Mayweather would land so many clean shots to where it was just like, okay, he went the distance, but he was really slapping this dude around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, take like a Floyd, like take like Floyd versus Zab Judah back in the day, like after like the first 4 rounds. Like, it ended up going to decision, but Floyd was smacking Zab Judah around. I mean, he was landing all types of, like, I got out of that fight more impressed with Floyd. I was just like, yo, like, he really went in on him. Like, to take Floyd, Ricky Hatton, after the first couple rounds, he really just started smacking him around, but he went in there for the kill when he seen the opportunity. That's probably the only critique I have of Shakur. Shakur is a great fighter. He's just okay with the decision, you know. And that's, listen, I'm like, as a pure boxing fan, that's okay for me, but I'm like, you can't command a certain amount of dollars if the consumer is not satisfied. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things that come with that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind him at 140. I think him, Gary Antoine Russell will be a good fight. It'll definitely be a good fight. I think Shakur Morataya will be a really good fight. There's some fights out there for him. You know, for sure. Like, bro, if it's up to you, like, who would you want to see Shakur fight next? Like, F the money. Like, what's the best matchup?
Duarte. That to me is the best matchup based on boxing styles. You got the puncher against the boxer. Duarte at this point is way more of a puncher than Teofimo Lopez is.
Gotcha. Oh,
you see what I mean?
Wilson. So yeah, Derek Wills got a good one. He said, Shaq Foster.
That's too, like I've heard from other fighters. He too little.
Who too
little?
Who too little?
Shaq too little.
How is he too little?
It's 130. This man fighting at 140. That's size. Didn't we just talk about that with Jamel Herring?
Bro, you told me a 7-pound difference is not that much.
When you dealing with a guy that's never been a banger, Shaq's not a banger.
Yeah, but Shakur's not a banger neither. So if that fight goes down to 35,
that's my
40,
point. So if you okay. So if you're dealing with two dudes, neither one of them is a banger. Ain't you gonna lead with the heavier dude out of the two bangers? I'm gonna lead.
But Foster might got more crack than Shakur.
No way in the world.
You don't think so?
No way in the world. No. He didn't get rid of a sloppy Schoolboy. He didn't get rid of Schoolboy. That went the distance.
Coolboy went outside of Inouye. Who's gotten rid of Coolboy? You know Coolboy solid. You know he's solid.
But we talking about Shaq and him. That was the worst version of Coolboy I've seen since I've been following his boxing career.
I agree.
If you a slapper, you should have been able to get a guy out of there that wasn't fighting back at all.
But the thing was he got outclassed in that fight. But Coolboy's still a dog though. He's still a dog though. Like, you're not gonna get rid of a dog even on an off night. You're not gonna get rid of a dog like that. He's still a dog.
All right. So what makes you think he can get rid of Shakur?
I didn't say he could. I said
that's my point. So why would that fight be? No, but why would it be interesting if he go Foster and Shakur wouldn't be interesting because we know Foster's not coming in with the sting that makes up the difference for any weight differential. Like, okay, Foster been banging at 130. Yeah, let him come on up, a couple divisions, a division and a half or whatever, because I'm sure he's closer to a 135 guy than he is a 130 in all actuality. So him coming up to 140 wouldn't be as bad if he was bringing some power, some well-known power.
But Williams Zepeda got well-known power.
Williams Zepeda has power against C-level people.
I agree. But let me ask you this real quick. when Foster fought Cool Boy, he didn't look like a big 135. He looked way bigger than Cool Boy. And Cool Boy was overweight.
Looking bigger and punching bigger is two different things.
He was punching bigger in that fight too. Cool Boy wasn't just walking through the front door.
Yeah, but he didn't actually knock him out the back door either.
You don't like that fight though? You don't like that fight?
I don't like that fight, bro. I don't like that fight. I think it'll be more of that chess match that people don't want to see.
But the chess match, what style beats Shakur though? What style beats Shakur?
Duarte style. A harder puncher. He punches harder than Zapata.
But Duarte, do you think Duarte shows more ring IQ? Because I don't.
When you're dealing with somebody like Shakur, you can't outsmart him. You have to outmuscle him.
Yeah, but you have to have some type of intellect to go along with that. You can't just go
meaning you know how to box. Meaning you know how to come forward. Correct. You know how to tuck your chin. You know how to cut the ring off. Duarte can cut the ring off. I've seen him do it. He just cut the ring off on old boy that we just saw. I just won some money off of this weekend. It was a great fight, but he was cutting the ring off and he was putting the hammers to old boy.
Yeah,
what's his name, Junior?
But Kenny Sims was getting off on him too, though. He was getting off on him.
Again, that's my position. Is Kenny Sims not the same level puncher as a Shakur Stevenson?
No, Shakur's probably a better puncher than Kenny Sims.
Power-wise?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop, Jeff.
Yeah,
stop.
No, bro, you tripping, bro. No,
Kenny
Sims is not cracking like that.
Bro, I'm
Kenny
just saying,
Sims ain't cracking like that, bro. He's not cracking.
And neither is Shakur.
Yeah, but Shakur lands the cleaner shots. He lands the cleaner shots.
Jeff, all right, I never said he's not an accurate puncher. We talking about power. That's what I'm rating power. Rating the clean shots that Kenny Sims was getting off. They were not strong enough to deter Duarte. Right. The same thing I believe will happen in the Shakur fight. Will Shakur get off? Yeah.
But we're saying the same thing though. We're saying the same thing. You said Kenny Sims was getting off on Duarte. He wasn't punching hard enough. I said Shakur's landing the clean. I said Shakur's gonna land the cleaner shots. He's gonna land the cleaner shots. Kenny Sims, the reason why he lost to Barbosa is because he didn't have no steam on his shots at 47. He didn't have no steam on his shots against Duarte. That's why he ended up losing that fight. He doesn't have steam on his shots. It don't matter what weight class he's in. I think Shakur is a way better puncher than Kenny Sims. Way better puncher than Kenny Sims, for sure.
I disagree with you, bro. I think that fight would be interesting because Shakur won't be able to keep Duarte off of him with the power. He was just big enough and slick enough to keep Zapata from damaging shots. Zapata was hitting him, but none of it was damaging. Why? Because his size is starting to come on now a little bit later in his career as he's growing. And I would say it's halfway point.
Yeah, but Sims is, I guess my point is this, like Sims lands shots. Kenny Sims is a good boxer. Like, I don't want to get it twisted. I just think he just had a bad night against Barbosa. But Kenny Sims is a good boxer. Kenny Sims just doesn't have a lot of steam on the shots. And the losses he's had in his career is because he can't keep guys off of him because he just ain't cracking hard enough. With Shakur is a little bit of a different story. We're talking about Shakur don't throw enough shots. It's when he lands, people feel it. Like when he lands, people feel it.
Okay, so now you saying when he lands, you're going to feel it. If he lands on somebody like Duarte, is that enough to keep Duarte from being able to be successful in his own right? Because one thing you just said, he doesn't throw enough punches, meaning he's either going to be on the back foot and moving to get away from Duarte, which people are going to judge in a negative light when you judge in fights, especially an aggressor coming forward, landing, making the fight. It can be a good fight, bro. It could be a good fight. in my estimation, I don't think he has enough power to have Duarte be like, "Yo, I'm not coming right through this dude front door like it's open."
Yeah, he's gonna come through the front door, but he's gonna pay the price though. He's definitely gonna pay a price at the front door. He's
I
definitely
think
gonna pay a
that
price
is
at the
the
front door.
toughest fight at 140 for him right now. I don't think Antoine Russell is a tougher fight for him. Russell has the same style, but Russ has one speed. Duarte has different speeds. He can single you and he can combo you. He can concentrate on cutting the ring off and staying close, or he can play the outside game, get his rest. I've seen a solid all-around fight game from Duarte. Even though you can label him as a come-forward guy, yeah, but if you really analyze his game, he got a nasty left hook, and we know you can hit Shakur to the body. So I just think it'll be
I would like the fight because it's a you got the boxer versus the come forward fighter. That always makes for good fights. So for that reason alone, I like the fight. I like the fight.
And I like it because I think Duarte is owed a title shot.
Is that what the angle is for real though?
No, I just think it's the best matchup at the division right now. We had a great fight with Russ and the Japanese boy. Horoka.
Mm-hmm.
So why not come right back? Keep the division lit. Take the steam away from 147. You the hottest kid on the block. Go show and prove.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the fight. I don't want to come off like I'm mad at the fight.
No, you just disagree with the power thing, and you know what I mean. No, we always disagree.
Yeah, no, I think with Ken, like I said, like we was talking Kenny Sims and Shakur, like Kenny Sims. I think another reason why Shakur is the bigger puncher is because when you watch Kenny Sims throw his shots, and I'm gonna steal one of your quotes. He throws a lot of get off me shots. Like you rarely see Kenny Sims really put some meat and bones on the shots.
He was trying with Duarte. I ain't going fraud. He did better against Duarte than he did with the boy that knocked him out.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, like, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I like Duarte Shakur. Do I think it'll be competitive for the first 4 rounds? Yeah. After that, I think Shakur runs away with it. I think he runs away with it. If he had a kill switch, I would probably pick him to stop Duarte late, but he don't have a kill switch, so I wouldn't even put that out there.
Man, that man, you can hit that man with a goddamn shovel. I think he's still coming forward, bro. That would be an excellent fight. I would love to see
like the fight.
That type of pressure off of him. That's to me is 3, 4. I say at least 3.5% more pressure, more effective pressure than what we saw Zapata do.
But I think Zapata in that fight actually fought smarter than what he usually does. Like he wasn't
throwing as heavy all the time,
which is
he didn't wear himself out.
Which is smart against a guy like Shakur. So I actually thought he fought pretty intelligent. I just think that Shakur was so precise with his shots that he ended up just outclassing him at the end of the day. But Williams Zapata fought well. Like with the circumstances, like he fought well. Like I can't knock what he did, but I think Oscar Duarte can. Let me ask you this, since we on Oscar Duarte, does he beat Gary Antoine Russell?
Yes.
I'm
being honest, bro. I think Russ,
so, bro. I don't think
what?
So. Nah, I don't think so.
The Russ we just saw, Russ that was eating body shots, Mike, bro. If you think that boy was getting that right hand off, what's going to happen when the boy get the left hand off?
Well,
because that was a right hand that was hurting him to the body.
But Hiroka and Duarte are two completely different fighters, though.
That's what I'm saying. So if you were getting hurt with the offhand, technically in boxing, which the southpaw right jab is the offhand, you were getting hurt with that. Imagine a motherfucker tapping you with the lead hand, the killer punch when it comes to body punching, the left hook. Man, I don't know if Russ can make the distance.
I got Gary Antoine beating Oscar Duarte, man. I like to see that fight though.
What, boxing?
Huh?
On pure boxing or machismo? Because he lost
Gary
fight.
Gary Russell would be stupid if he fought. Gary Russell would be stupid if he fought machismo with.
But that's his style. Yeah, but that's his style. His style is come forward, get in your chest, and get off.
Derek Wilt said Duarte versus Russell would be crazy. Yeah, that would be. I'm actually more interested in that fight than a Shakur fight. That would be the better style matchup. I still think Gary Antoine Russell wins that fight though. Close. Now,
agreeing with you, I think it would be a bit more fan friendly because Russ will, try to meet fire with fire. Mm-hmm. So he'll have to be coached back into his boxing ability like Bro did. Big shout out to Bro. Excellent. Probably best corner work of the year so far. No doubt about it. Outside of maybe what Dalton Smith's team may have did, and I would have to take a listen back to what they was doing in his corner. But Big Bro Russ, yeah, he definitely would say he pulled off best corner work. That was televised, at least, because we didn't get to hear everybody corner work. But at least what we could hear and what was shared, I think he pulled off best corner work of the year.
Yeah,
so far. We're only a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, big shout out to Gary Russell, man. Big Gary Russell, big shout out to him. I think that would be a great fight. If I had to line up a fight for Duarte, I think Gary Antoine Russell would be a great fight. The one that showed up against Hiroka, Duarte got a shot. If we talking Gary Antoine Russell, the one that showed up against Jose Valenzuela, Duarte gets mopped if that one shows up. So it really depends.
But now remember, when you analyzing those two style fights, Hiroka is more closer to a Duarte than he is a Valenzuela.
I agree with that, but he's physically different too. Hiroka's physically more important.
No, I mean, that's what I mean. He's a solid dude that boxes. But when he turned the fighter game on, he was actually more successful. So Duarte has that style from round one. That is too much pressure on Russ. Russ gonna be on the back foot, having the box, pivot and move. And I don't think he got the steam on them shots singly to keep a dude like Duarte in check. He's going to have to punch in bunches, which is going to open him up for return combinations.
Derek Wilt said Russell beats Duarte. I agree. I agree. I think.
Wilt, so you didn't see your boy struggling against the Japanese boy who was over here off 2 days rest? That motherfucker just flew out here the day of the fight.
Hey, Vlog, nobody's saying that it won't be a struggle. I think it will be a struggle, but I think at the end of the day,
I'm glad to be on the other side of the fence on this one, man, because I disagree with both of y'all wholeheartedly.
Hold on. Derek Wilt's laughing. Yeah, man, I think it's a great fight. Now, I think Duarte beats Hitchens. Yeah, I think he beats.
Yeah, he beats. Yeah, right. Hitchens is a string bean compared to Russ, compared to a Hiroka and any of these other guys they're way more solid. They definitely carrying the extra weight back into the fight. I don't even think his frame could have held any extra weight.
Hey, bro, you think Duarte beats Hiroka?
That's a fucking banger.
I think Hiroka beats him. I
don't think so. I mean, I think Hiroka has a chance because one thing I've seen from Hiroka, he can box off the back foot a lot better than he showed against Russ early. Because Russ had him going backwards, hitting the ropes, and he wasn't countering Russ as much as I had seen him in prior fights. So if he would have to be the boxer in the Duarte fight, I do give him definitely a chance to win that fight. That's definitely, in my estimation, 50-50 because he has the side that can deal with deal with Duarte's pressure.
Yeah, I think all of them. I think all of them are good.
Oh yeah, all
Good
around.
fights.
That's what I said. Right now, in my estimation, 140 hotter than 147. Even though 147 got quote unquote got the names with the
Mm-hmm.
straps. 140 hotter with matchups.
Derek Wilt said, "When you keep the fight in the middle of the ring, Duarte looks lost."
Now I can say he can be outboxed. That, but is who's doing that for 12 rounds though? Who can keep
Um,
that pivot? Who can keep that turn going for 12 straight rounds to keep the fight right there in the middle?
I
And
don't think Gary Antoine Russell keeps it in the middle of the whole fight. I think he keeps it in the middle long enough to win the fight.
but that's saying that he's be able to get off and get out faster. He's not, to me. He could possibly punch a bit faster than Duarte, but he ain't hitting harder than Duarte.
Yeah, he probably not hit. Yeah, I don't think he's hitting harder than Duarte. I don't think he's hitting harder. I just think Gary Antoine Russell got more tools in the toolbox.
All right, now we talking about this. Let me ask my man in the chat. What is the best fight at 140 right now?
Derek Wiltz, what's the best fight at 140 right now? What's the best fight at 140? Derek Wiltz said, gotta mix it up. Yeah, you definitely gotta mix it up against Duarte. Like Duarte ain't no easy out, like for sure. Like, but it's like fighting a Hiroka. Like Hiroka's not an easy out. Like he actually probably is more skilled in the middle of the ring than Duarte is, and then he can put you see the body assault. He put on against Gary Antoine Russell. So yeah, 140 got plenty of good fights, But I'm all for Shakur Oscar Duarte fight. I'm cool with a Keyshawn and Oscar Duarte fight. I think that would be even a better. Actually, I think that fight's better than Oscar Duarte and Shakur.
You did it. We got to go there. Does he move to 147? While I'm still waiting on my man to give a response in the chat, should Keyshawn move to 147?
I don't think so.
The way Ryan looked at 147, I think Keyshawn would look like a fucking monster at 147 with his boxing ability. He would be the real problem at 147.
Who are we talking about? Does he beat Stan Jonas? Does he beat Stan Jonas right now?
Yes, he can outbox Stan Jonas. He don't even have to get into a firefight. He can let the knockout come to him, in my estimation, because Stan Jonas is a come forward guy. He's not a back foot boxer. That's what got him in trouble with Boots. He could not keep Boots up off of him, and eventually, he got stopped.
Does Keyshawn beat Brian Norman Jr. at 47?
Yes, he can outbox Brian Norman Jr. and possibly get the knockout.
Oh.
Keyshawn knocks out Brian Norman Jr.
Wow.
He's not Brian Norman Jr. Look, if he got the knockout against a defensively sound Ortiz, you think he can't get the knockout against a non-defensively sound Brian Norman Jr.?
Yeah, but if Brian Norman Jr. land though, if he lands,
all right. They said the same thing against Haney, and I think
Haney a different monster though. Defensively, it's a lot harder to get to Haney than it is Keyshawn. Keyshawn gonna be right there though. He gonna be right there for the smoke.
Yeah, he caught a couple shots from Ortiz, but the way he forces you to fight, you're not putting everything behind it. He'll have Brian Norman Jr., in my estimation, a lot more cautious than he was and why he ran into the knockdown versus Haney.
That's fair.
Because once you feel the power from the young boy, you're gonna be okay. I'm not gonna want to tee off and go for mines like that because what's gonna be coming my way. So it could be a cautious fight. The same way when he got the knockdown versus Haney, he fought more cautious and didn't come on until late once he realized Haney was tired and Haney was kind of giving away rounds. He started coming on and he actually was able to grab a couple of them late rounds. But he still wasn't accurate enough. He still wasn't IQ enough to get himself in a position to get the knockout. He kept.
I can respect it.
No, you know what I mean. So
I respect that opinion for sure.
I think right now Keyshawn at 147, He better than Garcia. He better than Rolly. A fight with Dev would be, you know what I mean, King of the Hill type of fight. Once he jumping right into the division.
Yeah, I don't think he's ready for Devin yet. I don't think he's ready for Devin yet.
What would it take, in your estimation, to say that, like, what type of fight does he need to say, okay, he's ready for Devin? As if Devin is this
I don't
OG
think
that's been holding it down for X amount of time.
I don't think it's one particular fight that he can fight that'll make me be like he can beat Devin. Devin's feet is so much better than Keyshawn's. Like Keyshawn pretty much got stationary feet.
But Keyshawn is the type of dude that can make Devin's footwork that he uses to elude make you lose fights against pressure fighters. I
think Haney gives you enough offensively to where I wouldn't put Haney in that category. And I see where you're going with that. I think Keyshawn is a little too stationary for Devin Haney. I think Haney will make him pay for a lot of those shots that he get away with other guys. That's probably the one bad matchup that I would say Keyshawn could take. Like Devin's a bad style matchup for Keyshawn. He's a bad style matchup. Not saying that he can't win the fight. That's a bad style matchup for him.
Answer me this. What style haven't you seen him fight? We've seen him box, allow himself to be pressured, fight off the back foot, fight off the ropes. We've seen him pressure, actually put good pressure on to where he got the late stoppage.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to figure out what haven't we seen from him thus far. He's taken a couple shots. That's no fraud. Because a couple of them essays that he fought, now I ain't gonna say they was all Mexicans, but a couple of them dudes actually had tagged him early, like he was 7th, 8th fight. It was like, okay, young boy might got a little bit of whiskers on him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so I'm trying to figure out what we need to see from him to say he ain't ready for anybody at 147.
I didn't say anybody. I said
and he ain't ready for Haney at 147.
I don't think with his style, with the Haney that showed up against Brian Norman beats Keyshawn.
But the Norman that showed up against Haney is not Keyshawn. That's the difference.
I agree, but I think
that's the difference.
But Keyshawn, I feel like Haney is a level above Keyshawn as a fighter. I feel like he's a level above Keyshawn, and his feet is 3 times better than Keyshawn's. Keyshawn is too stationary for me to beat Devin right now. He's too stationary for me.
So you saying Devin, but who stationary means that he's being pressed and he can't move. Stationary isn't like he's the one that doesn't know how to put how the pedals going forward. So I'm trying to figure out like
most of the time Keyshawn is moving forward. The thing with Devin, he's not going to be able to do that with Devin and not pay the price for that shit. And that's the difference. He hasn't fought anyone that's going to make him pay the price for them bad feet. Keyshawn don't have good feet. He don't have good feet. It's camouflage because he gets his punches through. He don't have good feet. He don't move them puppies like that. You got to move them puppies against Haney. You got to move them. You got to move them. You got to move them. I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. Like, style-wise is a bad matchup. Style-wise. I'm not saying that he can't win the fight, but that's a bad style matchup for Keyshawn. Because Haney's good.
I ain't going to fraud you, bro. You know what I see from Devin?
Mm-hmm.
You can make him move to where you actually want him to move. And that is a strategy that can be taught to somebody like Keyshawn Davis. You can teach him the strategy because Devin does is slide the back foot. You just don't know if he's sliding straight back, if he's sliding off the angle. And time to time, he will pivot and spin. With that being said, he's rarely punching when he's doing that. He'll get to the spot and then let off once you're coming in. But if you've already set him up and put
real quick, bro. Real quick. Derek Wiltz is trying to make it up to you.
Okay.
He said, I got Keyshawn beating Devin.
Thank you.
So here's my thing. So if you got Keyshawn beating Devin, you're basically saying Keyshawn's at 147. He could be the king at 147. That's basically what you're telling me, right?
I think he could do a smash and grab right now. I think he could literally do a smash and grab right now.
If he's doing a smash and grab, you're basically telling me he can be the man at 147 right
Yes, I do believe he can go and take that division over and actually walk through each dude and take their strap one by one. He don't need them to meet up and end up grabbing 2 belts or 3 belts in one fight type of thing. Nah, I think he can walk all them down in a matter of 2 years.
When you seen Devin get walked down? Because Keyshawn is at his best when he's walking guys down. There's no way on God's green earth he's going to walk down Devin Haney.
But answer me this. What fighter have you seen with the style to be able to be successful walking Devin down?
I don't think anybody can walk Devin down outside of maybe Boots. I don't think anybody. I think Devin's feet is too good.
I rate Keyshawn's skills.
I think you're rating him a little. I think you're rating him a little higher than I am.
I had him in the top 10 just not too long ago. So
whoa.
Yes,
You had Keyshawn. You had
Keyshawn in the top 10.
You had Keyshawn Davis in the top 10. Top 10.
Yup.
Bro, you did. Bro, you must. Bro, are you? Because you're not on screen. I always wonder. I worry about you.
No, bro, I'm not frauding. I'm not frauding.
Can I tell you why I say that?
Based on that comeback performance,
can I tell
based
you why
on what
I say
you
that?
show, hold up. Everybody has a hiccup in their career. Everybody look past the scandals. So you have a little issue with the weights, bad promotion, bad reaction with family things and brothers losing fights and all of that. Yeah, you had a hiccup, a big burp in your career. You settled that down with a great performance, showing you're still the guy, the businessman, the guy that came from the Olympics and wanted to show and prove he's a great professional. I think he bounced back and stopped the guy that had never been stopped and had been in there with quote unquote Hall of Famers, or at least one.
Hey, Vlog,
I'll at least say Loma's a Hall of Famer. Vlog, I'm not gonna put Teofimo Lopez in there, but
Vlog,
at least Loma's a Hall of
Famer. Vlog, I'm about to get you. I'm about to slow cook you, bro. Here's why. You've told me your last 2 top 10 pound for pounds, Keyshawn was not on there. And they were recent.
I had
they were recent.
Right
they were
after.
Recent too. They were recent, bro. They were recent.
I had him on it. I didn't say that. But again, I'm putting out a top 10 every month. So I got one coming out in 2 more weeks. So again, it's based on what's going on during the month, who's fighting, what competition, blah, blah, blah. All of that can change. But right now, he's not in it because he hadn't signed up and lined up another fight. Give me another big contest. Don't do all the talking again. I don't need that. To me, if he's back in there with another big name, I'm slating him right back in at 10. Okay. Based on skills.
So, okay.
Because I don't like him as an individual. I'm not a fan of what he does.
Okay, so you said based off of just skills. Okay, all right, cool. So, I guess my point was beating Jermaine Ortiz is not going to get you in the top 10. You just changed it by saying it's skill. I can roll with that.
But again, your skill can get you in there, but you didn't accomplish anything with that win. He did and he didn't. He did and he didn't. Let me take that back. He did and he didn't.
Because we was just talking about whether Jermaine Ortiz was too young to be a gatekeeper.
Yeah, and it's because of the type of guys he's fighting and losing against.
But that's
again, you just fought and lost against a dude that's a questionable pound for pound guy. Let's just say he's questionable. And he was able to stop you. That is a big accomplishment. If it was a strap on the line, it would have been that much more better. You see what I mean? Because you've had other guys like Sander Zayas actually win a title. Whether it was top-notch competition or not, that accomplishment eclipses the stoppage of Jermaine Ortiz in my estimation. So coming back with another top 10, I would have to move him out.
So you need one more fight from Keyshawn with a solid name, and he could get into your top 10.
Back in top 10. I fly him, even if it's a non-title fight, as long as it's Jermaine Ortiz-esque type of guy. I need that about you.
But as of right now, he's not in your top.
Not
10.
in the top 10 because he doesn't have a belt.
Cool. Okay, cool. All right, Corey. Fair enough. All right, fair enough. I can roll with that. Derek Wilt said, Keyshawn gonna jab with Devin. It will change the fight. See, Derek Wiltz, that's where I disagree. I don't think Keyshawn is going to be jabbing with Devin long enough to change the fight. He's so used to Derek. So let me explain this real quick, bro. Keyshawn is so used to landing the home run shots. I've never seen Keyshawn actually be patient and actually let the fight come to him. I've never seen him do that. And he would have to do a little mix of both against Devin Haney to give himself a good shot. I think part of the reason why I'm picking Haney in that fight is I'm like, Haney's more experienced.
You took the words right out my mouth.
He's more experienced. Yeah. He's the bigger fighter. But
he's not the bigger puncher.
He's not the bigger puncher, but he's the bigger fighter. Which goes into Keyshawn trying to walk him down. And on top of that, he got the better feet. And he got the better jab.
Hey, I would say this. You better have a better feet when them whiskers are weak.
Whose whiskers is weak?
The whiskers weak.
Whose whiskers is weak?
Dev.
Hey, bro, come on, bro.
He got rocked. He got rocked. He got rocked. He pitched the shutout and got rocked in the shutout.
Bro, but he got rocked one time. One.
No, I think Ramirez got to him, had him on the bicycle too. I'm over backstroking like he was in the Olympic pool.
Hey, bro, he's not like Haney got whiskers on him. He got whiskers on him, bro. Like you're gonna take shots.
Yes, no doubt. It's boxing.
It's boxing. No, you're gonna take shots, but he's not. Haney's not a weak.
Let's say this. His whiskers ain't as fresh as Keyshawn's whiskers are. So we haven't seen Keyshawn get cracked either, though. But that's my point. That gives your whiskers more freshness. They still on the vine, so to speak. Haney's whiskers have been plucked off the vine and walked around the goddamn farmyard for a minute now.
But you're saying for a minute, but you just said to me he only got cracked a couple times, though.
But that's my point. Being cracked a couple times opens it up for a guy that we know can crack. That's all I'm saying by that statement.
But the only way I would agree with that statement is because what Ryan did.
Didn't you feel the same way against him fighting Brian Norman Jr., that the possibility of being cracked was there? Didn't you feel that way?
No.
You didn't feel that way? I'm on camera.
I'm on camera. We're both on camera on this show. And we both looked at the odds and we said, yo, are we tripping? We was like, it's no way Devin Haney loses to Norman because Norman's gonna.
No, I'm not saying that, Jeff. I know we boxing savants and we picked the proper fighter to win. But as a natural fan, knowing what Brian Norman did we not feel like a fan? Like, yo, it's a possibility Dev can get cracked.
It's always a possibility. Yeah,
that's my point. With saying that the opening is there for Keyshawn based on Devin's prior history of actually being cracked. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, but the thing about Keyshawn, he gets a lot of his shots off because guys are on the back foot because he's walking them down.
Who's the king of the back foot game right now?
As far as you talking about, as far as the back foot game, listen, Devin got top 5 feet in the game. When you got top 5 feet and a top 5 jab, somebody as stationary as Keyshawn ain't beating him. He's not beating him.
Jeff.
He's not beating him.
What is Devin's first thing that he does in the boxing ring?
Jab,
and then what does he do right after that?
He pivots.
Stop, Jeff. He slides right off that back foot because he's trying to lure you in. He's trying to create range all around the ring to find out where he could be at. That is great footwork. That is excellent boxing IQ, but it's still a habit that he does. Back foot boxing.
But what does that mean for Keyshawn, though?
That means Keyshawn has an opportunity to come forward and land.
Yeah, but that's why I said Devin Haney pivots. That's why I said he pivots. I'm not taking away from your point.
But the pivot first of all, we got to see if the pivot's still there, because I did not see a lot of pivoting. Hold up. Now, he did not do a lot of pivoting against Brian Norman Jr.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why he didn't have to pivot. Because Brian Norman, first of all, Brian Norman is not really a smart fighter. He's not really a smart fighter. I'm gonna tell you exactly what he was doing. He was on the back foot, jab, back foot. Brian Norman, he doesn't know how to judge distance.
Oh,
he don't know how to judge distance.
I was going to say the same thing. He fell into his shit. He fell all over his work.
He fell all the way in. All Devin Haney had to do was just smother the work. He ain't even with him. He ain't had to pivot.
Now we talking boxing IQ. We talking an accomplished Olympic fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think his boxing IQ would not allow him to consistently fall in and smother his own work? Or would his intelligence of boxing make this a true, a real good fight, bro? I mean, I think it's probably quote unquote one of the best fights in the game right now.
Listen, it's a good fight. I'm not, just because I think Devin's gonna win, I don't think it's not a good fight. It is a
right
really
now.
Good fight.
What better fight right now? I'm trying to think. What better fight based on ability, IQ, name recognition? That's not a mismatch of like cross the game, Mexican, Puerto Rican, that sort of thing. Just straight boxers going up against each other. I think this is one of the best fights we can get. Real spill.
I would say top. That's a top 10 fight in the game for sure.
We need to get that. We need to get that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. The margins is not.
I'm about to be a Keyshawn Davis fan again.
Listen, you know how I look at Keyshawn, bro. I think Keyshawn is one of them dudes that I think he's made mistakes. He's known that he's made mistakes. And I think kind of what you're seeing now with Keyshawn Davis is just, I think he's just embracing his personality. Like, he's just embracing it. Like, so he's just doing a lot of different things right now. You see him all over social media, but he's not. It just seemed like he's trying to have more fun with it, which I'm perfectly okay with. So I actually, like, Keyshawn's okay with me. I'm like, as long as he's doing what he got to do in the ring and he's being professional and things like that, and he's trying to work on his brand and he's trying to do all that, I'm perfectly cool with that. But Keyshawn is going to create a lot of great fights. But I think I would say probably Haney. I would say Haney, Keyshawn right now. And this is not a knock on Keyshawn. This is actually a credit to Keyshawn. I would have Haney 55-45 over Keyshawn. And the only reasons I would have him 55-45 over Keyshawn is because of experience, and he's naturally the bigger fighter, and he got better feet.
I would go 60-40.
60-40 Keyshawn?
Yeah, for the same reasons. The reason why I give Keyshawn 40% natural ability, and he's a guy that has that natural drive. Like, to win a fight, you have to be mentally wanting to win the fight. You have to have already pictured yourself winning the fight. A lot of dudes that overcome, they kind of overcome in the moment. They didn't overcome based on they projected it. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's different when you're dealing with a mentally strong young dude like that. That's a big point to come into the fight with. And that's a lot of why I give him 40% in that fight like that. And I think it's just a great fight because it's youngsters. It's that golden era type of matchup that is seeming like these dudes is avoiding, because I don't know what's going on with your boy Haney and Roley. It's 2 weeks later. He still ain't signed the paperwork.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get signed strictly because if Haney don't, if Rolly don't sign it, he's going to have to fight his mandatory. And I don't even know
What are
what his
you talking
mandatory
about?
is.
Rolly and them sent it over to Haney. They gotta sign it and send it back. They sent the offer over. They've already signed it. They waiting on the Haneys.
Oh well. I mean,
And,
my point's still the same though. If Rolly don't get the fight, he going to fight his mandatory. So he wants it.
and who is his mandatory? Is it
have no
Ramos?
clue, bro. I have no.
It should be Ramos. No, I know
it. You wanted to be Abel Ramos.
Man, hey, he beat either one of them dudes.
Oh
God, Abel beats Garcia or he beats Rolly. Now he don't beat Dev. I ain't going fraud. He don't beat Dev, but he beats Rolly or probably not Garcia. I think that's more of a 65-35 fight just because Garcia is definitely a naturally faster guy. But we know Ramos is just, rusty nail tough. So he gonna put that pressure on Garcia, and Garcia can make a mistake. You know what I mean?
I could see Ramos beating Rolly. I
can see him beating Rolly with the volume.
Yeah, I could see it. Actually, I think like Ramos is actually more polished than Rolly. Boxer, I think he's more polished, but that, I mean, I don't know what's going on with that situation, but they need to get it clean. Because I'm like, if he's not going to fight Rolly in the Ryan Garcia fight next, then they just need to go ahead and go sign that. They need to go sign that and just get it done and over with.
Remember I told you Ryan out here talking about Tiafimo and them done put little hints out there that they moving up and might be wanting to do that. They do the Mexican Puerto Rican clash often, so that's a sellable fight.
It's two big names. It's definitely a sellable fight. Me personally, I think Tio need to get a win under his belt before you go into.
Didn't we say that about Ryan Garcia?
Yeah.
So with the way the game going,
he got privilege. They
recycling names, bro. They just recycling names privilege. Because the boy Javier, Haney, Nadir, he ain't get his shot. He was just the WBA interim, and they ain't call him.
Yeah, it's games getting played. You already know. But we gonna get in this last topic before we get up out of here, man. I don't know if people seen it, but I dropped a video about Devin Haney dropping that video of Floyd Schofield Sr. Putting his hands on a young woman. It might have been his old girlfriend or something like that. And I put a video out basically saying that, that was some Chicago PD / Law and Order Special Victims Unit / top flight security of the world, Craig type stuff. And then I also said that we don't condone the domestic violence stuff either. And Vlog, I was wondering why I had so many people coming at me about that video. You want to know what it was, bro? It was the thumbnail. I have a picture of Haney, and in the corner it says, Haney, did he go too far? So people were upset that I asked, did Haney go too far? And I didn't mention anything about Schofield Sr. and did he go too far with the woman?
So all right, let's start there. I'm a double OG and I'm a very logical person. If I saw that, the first thing I would think is, what that bitch do?
Hey yo.
I'm not gonna fraud you. When you come on, bro, you be like, who? Like, you gonna jump on you for no reason? Like, if the reason is non-legitimate, that's another story. But I'm thinking logically. What did you do? Did you steal something? You somewhere you ain't supposed to be? Like, you know what I mean? So you got to think from that point of view first. Now, if that is all legitimate, she ain't do nothing wrong. Old boy probably out of pocket because you gonna have your emotions but the position that you in, bro, the position you trying to put you and your son in, you can't have the mental lapses like that. You know what happens in the system. A setback like that is a major setback. You have your son out there looking for a new trainer, and you'll be forgone and forgotten. I'm just saying. You remember how they did? You remember how they did Ray and Claude in Life? You know what I mean? Can't get right, made it to. You know what I mean? They got right on about Ray and Claude. Can't get right, went and got right. So you know what I mean? You don't want that to happen in those situations. So you gotta be mentally strong. So he was technically out of pocket for that reason. And again, it's a woman. If you're in a boxing game, you know you stronger than her. Whoop-de-whoop. You know what I mean? Unless she was an MMA fighter or something. I don't know, but I'm spitballing. I'm just trying to cover all angles. What ain't right ain't right. But now we want to get to the Haney situation. If it was on their social media, they're responsible. Dad, son, cousin. I know he got his little stepbrother or half brother out there doing this thing. He trash. he trash. I don't know if you saw that fight with the Garcia cousin.
I didn't see it.
Man, he trash. He got that back foot slide that they do in that family, and his is trash. So that being said, he could improve, but I had to get that off. Anyway, if they from the town, and if you know anything about Oakland business and what it do out there, you dig, it's about pimping, man. And you never talk down on another nigga business. That's that man business. Let that man iron that out over there. Now, if it's around boxing and y'all going back and forth, I'm better than you, whoop-de-whoop, all of that, you start getting in putting out personal business like that. Come on, man. That's not pimping. That's not player at all, play. And y'all supposed to be from the town. But they might be dislocated from those teachings like that.
You know, the thing is, first of all, the video I dropped was 1 minute 30 seconds. I can't address domestic abuse in 1 minute 30 seconds. Like, y'all are expecting like a novel in 1 minute and 30 seconds. All right. That's the first thing. Number two, the picture that I put for the video, like the actual cover for the video, it's a picture of the background of the video that they dropped, and it's a picture of Haney. And I said, did Haney go too far? So the reason I said that was to spark conversation. It was to spark conversation. So, vlog, follow me real quick. If I put a picture of Floyd Schofield Sr. up there and I say, did Floyd Schofield Sr. go too far? They're going to be like, who's Floyd Schofield Sr.? Am I correct?
You might get 10, 12 people know that man like that.
I might get about 10 to 15 people that know that man, right? Now, I can't put the female up there because I don't know who the female is. And I think it would be irresponsible for me to put the female up there and say, did they go too far with her? So I put the picture up of the person that people recognize the most. And I said, from a boxing standpoint, in terms of having beef with somebody, I'm not talking about the domestic violence part. I'm talking about one man having beef with another man. Did he go too far in regards to the beef? That's a different topic than the actual domestic abuse.
I don't think that's the real question. I think the real question is, did he go too far as posting that publicly?
Exactly. That's what
you
I'm
can
saying.
have beef and know that and let people know I got some scoop on this dude, and you can shoot shots at him without throwing the actual video and picture out there like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's a little bit different. And that's smoke. And if he know you got smoke like that, yeah, that's going to affect them mentally and affect their camp and all of that. So you'll be getting a W. But this right here is actually a W with an L attached.
And that's exactly what I was trying to get at. So I just want to make it 100% clear. Floyd, whatever's going on with Floyd Schofield Sr. and that young woman, I don't know how old the video that is, how recent it is. I don't know. The thing is, when you see a situation like that, and he pushing the lady and all that, like, no, like we're not condoning that at all. Anything domestic abuse wise, like we're not condoning that. Point blank, period. We're not condoning it at all. You understand what I'm saying? How I was raised, right? How I was raised. I'm like, when a person's going through a personal situation with a woman or whatever the case may be, that's their
Mind your
situation to
business.
handle. That's their situation to handle. I can say that and still say that he's wrong for what he did on that video. Yes, he was wrong for what he did on that video. Vlog, people was upset with me because they said I was spending more time clowning Devin Haney than Floyd Schofield.
It's
My
not
thing,
even a clown.
it's not even a clown. Like,
It's
it's not
about
even a clown.
discussion.
It's about discussion, and I'm like, it's about
Yeah,
discussion
like
because I'm
is
like,
this
at the end of the day, right? Here's the thing that's funny though. Here's the thing that's funny with that situation. So, okay, Floyd Schofield Sr. put his hands on a woman or his ex-girl or whatever. Okay, it's up to Floyd Schofield Sr. If he need to go get help, he need to go get help, right? If that's something that he usually does, he got anger issues, whatever the case may be, he's used to doing that domestic violence type stuff. Floyd Schofield Sr. needs to get help. Okay, that's number one. Number two, in regards to that situation, he got to answer to the man that he prays to. Whatever God that he prays to, he got to answer to that person. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the judge, jury, or the executioner in that situation. Like, he's got a lot of cleaning up to do in terms of himself. And I'm talking about
but
Floyd
you know
Schofield Sr.
you got to look at it this way too, because you got to bring a little bit of levity to it. You know, it could have been female on female violence because you know they call him auntie in these boxes.
Yo, that's funny. That's funny.
I'm just saying, I'm just bringing a little levity. I know it's a serious situation, but they call him that. I never said that about
I know.
auntie.
Yeah,
I
like
never
they
said
call him
that about
auntie.
auntie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
I
the
never
thing,
called
though.
him
Like,
auntie.
it's crazy because I'm like, it's as crazy of a situation it is. I'm like, whoever that young woman is, I'm like, Floyd Schofield Sr. got to deal with her mother, her father, her brother, her sister, her uncles, her cousins. You know, if she decided to press charges, like, he would have to deal with law enforcement. He might have to bail out of jail and all that. Like, there's certain things about that situation that's out of my control, Vlog's control, and everyone else's control. So I'm like, to take a 90-second video and you're basically what you got
But
out of it.
you know who had control of that?
Mhm.
The Haney team, whoever runs their social media, whatever that's who actually had control of what we're talking about. Because if they didn't do that, we'd be talking about whoever else posted it up.
Yeah, and I was told that the video was posted before Haney posted it. So I had somebody put a comment in the comment section, like, of my video, saying like, "Hey, how was that cop shit if he posted something that was already posted?" I said, I didn't see that until Haney posted.
Okay,
It came up on Haney's
so all
channel.
right, now I got a simple response to that person.
Mhm.
You ain't never heard of two people telling on the same crime?
Yeah.
So
Like, so
logic,
that's what I'm
baby. All
saying.
you got to do is hit them with logic, and you could just bend a corner.
And that's the thing, and it's like, and I'm like, you, like, they were trying to take one point and make it seem like I'm not focused on domestic violence. I said the point of the video was boxing. The point of the video was two figures that's in the boxing game having beef, and did one
And
person
you didn't
go too
post the
far?
video of her being
I didn't post the
hurt.
video. I didn't post
Yeah,
the video.
so
I didn't
yeah,
post the video.
you
I
didn't.
didn't post it.
You talking? You it's like what? This is what social media is about.
Bro, I'm like, I didn't post a video. I didn't post a picture of the female. I didn't post her name. I didn't do any of that. So I was just like, I was actually more respectful about the situation than they were. And on top of that, right? And this is another thing, bro. Like, this the thing that kind of puzzles me. So it's like, they's like, oh, well, you know, you weird for talking about Haney and you ain't talking about Schofield Sr. I'm like, yes, Floyd Schofield Sr., yes, he's wrong at the end of the day. Yes, he's wrong. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, anything domestic, I'm like, I can't do anything about that. Like, I
Check this
can't do
out
anything
though.
about that.
You know how you again another easy logical response. This is not a public service channel.
It's not.
This is a boxing channel. This is a boxing page that you posted this on. This is what we're talking about. This topic based from a box. Like, did you think you walked on here and started talking about the neighborhood perspective? Like, this is not that channel, bro. What it like? Come on.
It's crazy, bro. Because I'm like, I feel like people pick and choose when they want to be righteous and when they want to be, you know, like moving like a civil rights movement. Because I'm gonna keep it. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack. Flo, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Tyson not go to jail for a couple of years for a sexual assault situation?
Yeah.
So we still watch Mike Tyson, right?
Yep.
And
still watch Floyd after his situation.
Floyd Mayweather was locked up for a domestic situation, right? We still watch every single Floyd interview. We still watch every single Floyd fight, right? I'm gonna take it one step further, bro. I'm gonna take it one step further. Tank Davis is literally on camera grabbing a girl by the arm, taking her to the front of the arena, to the back of the arena. Vlog, am I lying?
Nah, I've heard this out there. I ain't seen it personally myself. I ain't gonna fraud nobody, but
I've seen it.
I've heard it's out there. So.
It's out there. It's out there. And he just got locked up for some stuff. But when Tank gets back in the ring, everybody gonna watch. Everybody gonna watch. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna watch. So I'm just like, people was upset with me because I said I wasn't putting enough pressure on Floyd Schofield Sr. and I talked too much about Devin Haney. And I'm like, yo, my opinion.
I think we got the word.
We're the minority,
one
bro.
of all time that was never talked about. Why you wrapping this one up? Mm-hmm. Your boy Riddick Bowe, he still made it to the Hall of Fame.
Riddick Bowe still made it to the Hall of Fame. You understand what I'm saying?
So yeah, bro.
And hold on, and on top of that, I'm gonna take it one step further than that. Ike Ibeabuchi.
Oh
he just got finished fighting. He just got finished fighting. Right? So that's why I'm like, yo, like if this is why I stayed on the topic of boxing. I was like, Haney is a boxer. Floyd Schofield Sr. is the trainer of his son, and his son is a boxer. They're both in the boxing game, but they're beefing. When you drop a video like that, you're beefing on a different level. And I'm like, this is the second time Haney has been in a situation and law enforcement's involved. When the Ryan Garcia thing happened, he filed a lawsuit. Am I correct? He filed a lawsuit, right? He filed a lawsuit. And then in this situation, he drops a private ring camera video. Like I said, if he didn't do it first, fine. Bottom line is he still posted it. I'm like, where I'm from, like Vlog and I are from the same place. We both from Philly. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and we're not young dudes. You understand what I'm saying? So where we come from, if it's beef, I'm like, you meet up with that person and you hash it out, or if you got to get a fair one in, then you go get a fair one in. You understand what I'm saying? We rather do that than to do some internet stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? But that's still not taken away from the point that Schofield Sr. shouldn't have put his hands on a woman. That's why I say like both things. I can make both points, and both points can be correct. And like in the situation, they didn't want me to bring up Haney at all. It was just all Schofield. And I'm like, I'm a boxing channel. I didn't make the video about the domestic abuse. I made the video about the beef. Whatever domestic's going on, I'm like, I hope the woman is okay. I hope the woman is not scarred and all of that. I hope she's okay at the end of the day. And I hope Schofield Sr. gets whatever help he needs. He might have already got the help. I don't know how old the video is. I don't know how old that video is. You know what I'm saying? But I tried to keep it boxing. Like, I'm not a gossip channel. I'm not a gossip channel. And I said in the video, I said, yo, that was some cop stuff. We don't condone that. You know, we don't condone either. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you can't point out one situation when you done sat up here, you'll message me and be like, oh, well, you know, he went too far, you know, and you talking about Haney. But I'm like, but you watch Floyd, though. You watch Floyd. You watch Tank. You know what I'm saying? You watch Floyd. You watch Tank.
Yeah,
Like, come
I
on.
mean,
listen. The president of the United States got sexual assault, like, charged. He's still the president, right? That's why I was like, if you're gonna get civil rights movement on me, be consistent with it. Like, be consistent and call out every single person. Call out every single person. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of work to do that.
It's
baby.
a lot of work to do that.
They ain't gonna have time for you then,
bro. Start it. Listen. If you that serious about it, start a nonprofit. I vlog. That's like if you get into a situation with your lady and I'm standing there, bro. I'm not getting involved with that, bro. Like, of course, I'm not gonna let you get to the point to where, you know, like, I feel like you might be putting yourself in a position to get locked up or she gets seriously hurt or anything like that. I'll be like, yo, vlog, like, chill, bro, chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not gonna get involved in your business. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna get involved with your business. And and the same people that say that, bro, is the same people. They'll know the stick-up kid down the street robbed the store on the corner and won't say nothing. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Or they might have shot a car up or something like that, and it might have been some kids in the car or something like that. They'll know who it is, won't say nothing. But this situation, they got talk all day. All day.
Yeah, the same people that's in there doing that, Captain Save them, is listening to their neighbor go through the same type of stuff. Exactly. And not knocking on the door, checking on anybody.
And they'll be like, so well, that ain't. They'll be
stop.
Hearing their neighbor get. They'll hear their neighbor get smacked around, and they'll be like, "Oh no, that ain't none of my business. I ain't saying nothing. I don't."
But when it comes to being in front of this lens and seeing something, then they cape flying and it's tight. It's know what I mean, got a lot of air up under it. So
facts. And that was the only point. That's the only point I was trying to make. I was just like, I didn't want to see things escalate between Floyd Schofield Sr. and his son and Devin Haney and his team. I didn't want to see that happening. As far as the young woman in the video, I don't know the young woman. I don't know anything about her. I don't know her name. Only thing that I can say is I hope she's okay. And as far as Schofield Sr., he's dead wrong. He's dead wrong. Like, so I'm just saying that for the record. Like, just because I said what I said about Haney does not mean that I don't think he's dead wrong.
Y'all just remember y'all heard that from me. I didn't say what he said. Y'all heard what I said.
Like, he's dead wrong. He's dead wrong. But like I said, I was also taught, I'm like, if it's somebody's situation and I mind my business at the end of the day. I can think somebody's wrong, but still mind my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, do I think he was wrong? Hell yeah, I think he was wrong. But do I know that man to get in his business? No, I don't. Do I know that female to get in her business? No, I don't. I wasn't there when it happened. So even if I wanted to call the cops, I can't call the cops. You understand what I'm saying?
You know how I break that situation down, bro? And I'm a real OG. This is the way I look at it. He passed wrong if that's my sister, daughter, auntie, cousin.
Facts.
He out of pocket because it's somebody I don't know, have no affiliation with like that. You know what I mean? And I would say he did wrong for the position that he building himself and his son that had been in or trying to be in. So he's wrong on a lot of accords, but we cannot take away from the fact there's a lot of reasons why things happen. You can't never negate the original reason when you're analyzing this. So a lot of them people that's in them chats that's, like I said, got they capes, got a lot of air up under them. Come on, man, think. You got to be like, yo, what happened? What, like, this is a start. This is a starting point. Y'all might be showing me the middle to the ending. Where did it start at? So if you ain't no detective, stop trying to save, man. Stop it with the internet comment superheroism. So, you know what I mean?
I was just, yo, and the only reason before we close this thing out, the only reason I'm even addressing this is because the video is at like 50 something thousand views on TikTok. It's like a lot of people were just like, yo, like Five, like you wasn't supposed to say nothing about Haney at all. Like you was just supposed to go with Schofield Senior. And I'm like, well, why can't I say anything about Haney? I said it's a boxing channel. Like I was just like, I don't run a guy. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm like not even trying to be disrespectful to a woman, but I was just like, I didn't make the video to address domestic violence. I didn't do it for that reason. I was like, I did it because it was two boxing figures that was beefing and it was going to the next level. And I was just like, I don't want to see it go to the next level. Like, I don't want to.
But that's the era we in, bro. They
that's the era we in, bro.
They YN. That's what they bang online until the intersections of the street actually cross each other and stuff happens and it spills over. But it starts online. That's where they get their original voices from. Because they not on no block yelling like that until they yell like that online. So that's just the era we in, bro. But that was shade, though. I ain't gonna fraud. I 100% disagree with it. And being that I'm a representative of Oakland, that's definitely nothing that's falling on the turf like that. You can't. Come on, blood. You hella out of pocket for that.
And that's hella extra out of pocket. And here's another thing, bro. Like, Haney, you can't tell me they don't know the same people to the point that where they couldn't get them two on the phone and square it off. Or if you were OG and you both got people that you affiliated with and everybody's kind of connected. Back in the day, you'll pick a location. Hey, we're gonna meet up here, we're gonna square it off. We're gonna rumble and we're gonna square that shit off. Like,
yeah, they got plenty gyms they can meet at.
Bro, they got plenty they can meet at. Like,
get some good sparring in and get it off your chest.
Get it off your chest. And of course, we know Senior's not gonna jump in there with Haney, with Devin Haney. He could have been like, you know what, I'm gonna send my son in there. My son gonna go in there, we gonna work it out.
I ain't gonna fraud. If I had to put some money on either pops, I'm gonna go with Schofield. I ain't gonna fraud.
Listen, that's the thing, and I'm like,
Pop Haney a gas bag.
Yeah, listen,
real deal.
Bro, and the thing is, like, with Schofield, like, that's why I say, like, Schofield has been saying a lot of spicy shit when it comes down to Haney too. He been talking spicy too, but that's why I crafted the video the way I did. I said, did Haney go too far based off of how they were
talking spicy,
and doing that
business out like that?
Yeah, like that's a whole different.
Yeah, you want some 50 Cent type stuff now.
And I'm like,
mega trolling.
And I'm like, is that mega trolling?
Hey,
is that
know what? That ain't what Debo, the real Debo, would have done.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I was just like, how are you, Debo Dev, and we dropping ring footage? I don't care if you're not the first person to drop it. Like you dropping ring footage.
Yeah, bro.
That's nasty work.
That's nobody's business, bro.
Listen, that's nasty work. I'm like, that him dropping the video was nasty work. Schofield Senior, he's nasty work for what he did in the video. And as far as I'm concerned,
come on, bro. Let's be honest.
This is my last time commenting on it. Go ahead.
Listen, if you caught that broad stealing from you, if you caught that broad doing something that's out of pocket and you're in mid-check mode of, yo, what you doing? Whoop-de-whoop. Like, really, is a man wrong? Like, we don't know this. So this is what I mean. People jumping out the window and it might not be no real fire. So what you doing?
But that's why I said, like, the whole personal part of it, I'm like, that's for them two to figure out. And if she felt like she need to handle it further, then yes, she need to go to the authorities or go get her peoples or whatever and need to handle it however she need to handle it. As far as Schofield Senior is concerned, if that's usually how he handled, depending on what it is, I'm like, if that's how he handled his business, no, we ain't condoning that. I get all that. But I'm like, people was just coming through like that was the first time put their hands on a woman, and I was just like, yo, like, we've seen this so many times. And I'm like, the thing about it is, I'm like, it's the same thing every single time. I'm like, it's two people with a situation, and some people now, I'm gonna keep it gonna keep it real. Like my grandfather used to beat on my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And my grandmother started fighting back. She started hitting this dude over the head with vases and all types of stuff. And it was because he was an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather was an alcoholic and he used to put his hands on my grandmother. You understand what I'm saying? Just getting a little personal with it. You know what I'm saying? But my grandma never called the cops on him, never got him locked up. But at the same time, she done whipped his ass a couple times too. So I'm like, I'm speaking from personal experience. And I know other people that has had domestic situations. I know about 3 or 4 people that had domestic situations. And all of these situations were different in terms of what happened, reason for it, all of that stuff. You don't ever want to see a situation get to that level. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't ever want to see it. But I've personally seen a lot of stuff, and I'm like, I'm not going to allow anyone to say, hey, well, since you clown Devin Haney, you must be for domestic violence. Like, hell no. Like, hell no. And it's just as grown men and being from the town and all that, it's just as a man, this is a certain way we carry it. Like
man,
men don't carry it like that.
Listen, they peas is off they steez, you feel me? You
I feel
me?
you, bro. But I just had to get that out there because that's the first time that I've.
That's the real PSA right there. You just gave out the real PSA right now. You know what I mean? Like, public service announcement.
Yeah, I had to really get it out there because I'm like people.
But hey, you gotta clip this. You gotta backdoor it. You gotta support.
That original video. You're not gonna tell me that because I clowned Devin Haney for him dropping a video that I'm not against domestic violence. Like, stop it. Like, stop it. Stop. I was raised by my mother at the end of the day. Like, stop it.
Hey, them people must never seen the first 48, man. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Witnesses they be having, bro. Like, come on, bro. He's just another witness when he doing stuff like that. Like, who they gonna go talk to the Haneys? Yo, what y'all know? You know what I mean?
It's absolutely crazy. And I was just like, for me, I was just like, yo, like this was more of an aggressive move than anything he did to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia actually put that man's health in danger because he cheated. Am I correct?
Man, and he was on some dirtbag racism shit. So
and he didn't have his, in my opinion, he didn't have this type of energy for Ryan Garcia. He ain't had this type of energy for Ryan Garcia.
You know what they say? It's always black on black crime.
It's nasty work, bro. But I had to put that. I had to put that out there. So obviously, I'm clipping a lot of this stuff. I mean, we done went 2 hours already, so I got probably
bro. I got to get off this joint, man.
Yeah,
I walked through the door and got right on here.
Yeah, hey, bro. But give me social media real quick. I don't know if you want to cook up tomorrow or Thursday, but I can do either one.
No, I'm gonna do Thursday because I want to preview this fight, man. See, this is where y'all know I'm a hardcore boxing fan. There's a low key fight. The boy Mike Walsh is fighting the boy Callum. What's the boy name?
Good fight.
Yeah, bro. The dude was a world title challenger, or either he had a world title. I know he lost the fight against either was Maxie Hughes or one of them, and he kind of fell off. So this he favored in this fight. I'm got to do some homework. I wanted to do a little breakdown on that. So check out that from me probably in the morning or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I'm all over the place with this boxing, man. I love it all, bro. There's some good fights on this Paddy's Day weekend coming up. You know what I mean? Yeah, so
we ain't even get into none of that. We can get into all that. We can get into all that Thursday, man. But this was 2 hours and 8 minutes strong, man. Expect about a good 10 to 15 clips from this show, bro. Expect a good 10 to 15 clips, man. Big shout out to Boxing First Vlog, aka everybody's favorite OG. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out
Mr.
to
Unruly.
Mr. Unruly for sure. Big shout out to Ty Finney, the legend, man. Couldn't make it in tonight, man. Hopefully he'll be able to make it in Thursday. Big shout out to my dog Teak, Coach Ali, Coach Padman McGriff. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to Shane. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all over the place, man. Everything G5 Jeff TV, man. You know what I'm saying? But this was episode 24 of Throw the Hook podcast. We will be back Thursday. And PSA, Boxing First Vlog, G5 Jeff TV, Throw the Hook podcast, and everybody affiliated. We are anti-domestic violence. We don't rock with it. We don't rock
keep your
with it.
mouthpiece strong, baby.
Keep your mouthpiece strong. We don't play that, yo. We don't play that. Floyd Schofield Sr., get your ass some help, bro. Get your ass some help. We out of here, man. We see y'all Thursday, episode 25. We out.
Peace.